Hi, this is Randy Finney with Right Side of the Chart, and today is Friday, August 28th, 2020. It is 2:18 p.m. Eastern Time as I'm starting the video, so less than 2 hours before the close. Nothing much to report on the broad markets, on the major stock indices, commodities. We do have a nice lift today in coffee and cocoa. Other than that, most everything else I'm tracking is pretty flat today, so not many technical significant events or significant technical events, although there are some things I want to point out in the coal sector. So this will be a very short video because I just did an update on this sector covering these stocks. I just want to fly through these and do a quick update. So this is the coal sector on TC2000, and I believe freestockcharts.com, that's their free version of the TC2000 software. IX1050 is the coal sector. Here's a downtrend line I'm watching. You have an uptrend line here, really forming for the most part this triangle pattern, and then price resistance, which we continue to tap again. So the sector, still looks good. It's been moving up, up on this trend line here, and I think if we can pop this, it's going to take us here to make a run at least test and maybe ultimately break above that trend line. So that's the overall sector, and there's just about a handful, maybe a dozen or so stocks that I covered in that last video the other day. So I want to do an update there. HCC, no significant change. It's up today. The whole sector, in fact, every single stock in there, all these, the dozen or so that I covered, they're all green today. Now, that in itself doesn't mean too much, but we're seeing a couple breakouts, so still a little more work to be done, but not a bad sector to be nibbling on right now, especially strategically as these break out. So that's the level I'm looking at for HCC, target zone right there. Again, these were all covered in more detail recently. This one did break out today. This is Arch Coal, or Arch Resources, up 6% on the day right now. Nice clean breakout. This is what you want to see. There's the breakout was to come above 35.07 right there, and that's what we got today. And nice green candle. So there's a check mark, one that's broken out. First target 41, and again, if there's we get some momentum in the sector, more of these breaking out, I'll most likely add additional targets to that one. ARLP, Alliance Resource Partners, same story. It's walking up this trend line, a lot like the sector itself, providing objective longs there, resistance, or you could say even first target. There's probably enough meat on the bone to make it worthwhile. If you're buying at the trend line, that's about a 15% rally just to get to that 385 point, and that's a level. If and when we break that, that should take us up to the next resistance level. I'd have to, like I said in the last video, I'll sharpen my pencil, add some additional targets if we get continued, bullish developments in the sector. SXC, SunCoke Energy, getting close to this symmetrical triangle pattern right here. And pop above that, take us to the first target at 358, and that's resistance. So break above that, it would open the door to about almost the $4 level, and then ultimately up here to this resistance zone there around 439, 461. And again, above average profit potential. The sector doesn't really have strong momentum right now, but it is walking up. And again, with at least one stock breaking out today, that's why I wanted to point it out. Another bullish development that I noticed today is BTU. In the last update, I said it had recently taken out this 252 level, but I was a little skeptical to break down. I said I'd be watching for a recovery of that. Very often I see this. That's called a bear trap, whipsaw signal, whatever you want to call it, when you break support, a pretty well-defined support like we did, and then you regain it. Now, work to be done. Are we above it? Yes, but by a relatively small margin, and you have trendline resistance right overhead. So a little more upside, and it's up about 8% on the day so far. It's a low price stock, so that's not a that 8% move. Don't say wow, it's just the par for the course when you look at the moves in this stock. And again, that's why I'm highlighting the sector. May or may not break out and pan out, but the gain potential is above average in my opinion right now. For example, should this one break out soon, let's see if I can grab where it would, about right there. You're talking to this 441 target right there, about a 70% return if it does that. So that's just showing you the above average gain potential. And of course, I wouldn't be doing the video if I couldn't make a pretty decent technical case right there. There it is. So There's your trend line, intersecting downtrend line and 252-ish resistance. Pop above there should open the door for move up to this trend line, then 441, and maybe all the way up to 523. Who knows? You know, we'll see what kind of momentum we get going here. There's additional targets that may come into play, may not. NC, NACCO Industries, nice clean downtrend line. No breakout yet, so no material developments there, but one to watch again. And the more you see breakout, the higher the probability that breakout's going to stick, and the higher probability that you're going to start to get momentum traders entering this sector. So the key is to get in a little bit early, because once these stocks run, they can run pretty fast. Next one up was NRP, and that no material change yet, still within this triangle pattern with the 1194 resistance just overhead, potential targets there. CEIX, Consol Energy, bouncing along this 491 support level, continues to offer objective long entries there. You know, at the very least, just play the trading range. You know, that's TA 101. You buy the bottom of a trading range support, ride it up to the top, sell it. And then, you know, or short and go back to the bottom of the trading range. So you can see multiple opportunities to swing up and down to the top and bottom of this trading range so far. And where it was highlighted the other day, I guess we were right about on there. And, you know, may not look like much visually, but it's, you know, even that alone, if you're active trading, it's 20%. About 21% from the bottom and the top of the range. So, you know, you get a few 20% trades in a matter of a couple, you know, a couple months there. Not bad. And ultimately, we could go on, break out of the top of the range is what I expect based on the technical posture of the charts. Probably should point it out there. There's also divergence there. We're making equal lows on price right there with higher lows on the indicators. That's positive divergence. I just had a price alert fire on BTU. Let me jump back to that one. I guess it started moving since I did the video. Yeah, here we go. This is a 1 minute chart. I just want to look at that because the alert triggered. Might have it set a little tight, but again, it's continuing to move up as I'm doing the video. All right, where was I? Jumped forward. I think I was on console. So I already covered that. METC. This one, you know, still looks good. It had this potential inverse head and shoulders bottoming pattern, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, neckline. If you want to draw it that way, alternative draw would be a horizontal neckline, and you know, broke out of the downsloping neckline. Little more upside could break out of the horizontal neckline, and 387 and then 496 are your potential targets there. CCR. That's not Creedence Clearwater Revival. This is Consol Coal Resources. I guess I already hit on this one here was Consol Energy. Okay, so I don't know if they're related or spin-off or what, but nice downtrend line there. 403, 453, then 497, again unadjusted targets. Those are the actual resistance levels where reactions are likely. Also bullish if and as each one's taken out. CTRA still needs to take out 494, but like so many others, you know, it's been walking up this trend line right here and offers an objective long entry. That's some sloppy arrow drawing there. Let me clear those out and try to do it again. You know, it offers objective long entries on pullbacks to that level with a stop somewhat below. And what's nice too is you have a longer term downtrend line there intersecting support levels if you get it. Now you may not get it if the sector, you know, starts to build momentum. That may have been the last tag right here. So at that point, your next objective entry, if we move up from here, is a break above 494, opening the door for a move up to 660 and then 942. Again, there's your longer term downtrend line. CTRA. Two more to go. That's AREC. Looks pretty thinly traded. I can just look at these choppy little candlesticks and tell. No, but there is support there around 119, and these low volume stocks tend to have more upside potential when they run. I mean, from when it bottomed right here back in March, actually the bottom there, that looked like a wonky candle, but from low to high, that was about 642%. So the range on these is pretty big. This one would be higher risk. If I were to take a position in this one, I would take a much smaller position than in some of the ones with larger market cap and more volume. HNRG, Hallador Energy, last one. Nothing new to report. There's our positive divergence right here with the indicators making higher highs, prices making lower lows, indicators making higher lows is what I meant to say there. And you need to break out above these trend lines, and potential long-term target up there, 243. So that's it. And if I come across anything before the close today, I'll get out to you. Otherwise, let's just leave it at that. And I've done plenty of updates on gold, the markets, VIX today, and of course commodities as well. So nothing really new to update other than these coal stocks today. This has been Randy Finney with Right Side of the Chart. Have a great weekend.